Obviously, very pleased with our guys' performance on Saturday. Definitely one of the most complete games of the year and complete games in a long time around here. Really proud for our seniors going out with their, that was a big challenge going into the week, knowing that this was going to be a lot of those key players' last game in Death Valley, really challenging them to make this last game their best game. And I think overall as an offense, it definitely was. Also pleased with the ball security. It's 2 weeks in a row. Both Wake Forest and South Carolina have done a good job of calls and turnovers and especially fumbles, punching balls out, and really pleased with that. I think the one interception we had was on a tip there with Jordan. And obviously really proud of the way that we were able to run the ball. That was a huge emphasis going into the week. We knew, I think, going into the game, South Carolina was ranked 17th in pass defense. So we knew that we were going to have to run the ball, to be able to move the ball consistently and be able to have nice drives. And, those guys did a great job up front creating a second line of scrimmage. And backs ran hard, and just feel like we're playing our best ball here at the right time. Moving on, it's pretty quick. Obviously, we'll enjoy the rivalry win and all that a little bit more in the off season, but we don't have a lot of time to sit back and enjoy it right now. We got to turn the page. Got a great challenge this week. Virginia Tech is everything that you would expect. Bud Foster's been one of the best defensive coordinators in college football for a long time, and very athletic up front, very multiple in what they do. A lot of movement, a lot of different coverages, trying to give a lot of different pictures to your quarterback. And the other thing that you notice, I like to break down the big plays every week, and it's the fewest big plays of any team we've played all year. And especially this being later in the year where we have a lot more film to break down, that's pretty incredible. So they give up very few big plays that make you earn everything that you get, and it'll definitely be a challenge. Definitely be one of the top defenses, if not the top, that we've played to this point this year. And, but that's what it's all about. You're going to have an opportunity to win a championship. It should be hard, and you should have to go out there and earn it, and that's what we're going to have to do this Saturday. I would say, going back, we've watched all of our games. We played them 3 times there in 2 years, 2011 and 12. Going back and watching that and watching what they're doing now, I think schematically they're the same, but they're a lot more multiple in the coverages that they give you. Where maybe in the past it was really you were going to get one of about 3 coverages. Now, you're going to see 6, 7, 8 different coverages, throughout the game at different times. And so I think that's probably been the biggest change is as he's evolved his system. He does a great job of giving the quarterback a bunch of different looks.
Is that just because of the people you trust? Is it different?
Yeah, I think, part of it is as coaches, everybody's always evolving and getting better. But, yeah, you can tell he's got a lot of experience on that defensive side of the ball. They know that scheme very well. They were recruited specifically to play in that scheme. And so he's got the guys in the right spots doing the right things. And, but definitely more multiple than what we've seen in the past.
How about the interior defensive line? They're pretty disruptive, and they do a really good job of stopping the run. What have you seen in their defensive line, and what do you?
Yeah, well, first thing is they got veteran guys up there. Several of those guys are juniors or seniors. They understand leverage. They play with their hands. Very well coached. Very few times do they get out of their gap. They do a good job of really holding their gap, and then they also do a good job of not allowing you to get to the linebacker level, of really taking up those blocks, those one-on-one blocks and the double-team blocks, and making it difficult to get up there to their linebackers. And that's why their linebackers are their 2 leading tacklers right now. But definitely very talented up front.
You mentioned multiple coverages. What will this be like for Deshaun?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that's one of the exciting things, as a coach and a player, and especially as a quarterback, is each week's a new week. You got a different scheme, and it's completely different. But I think to guys like Deshaun, that's hopefully going to have a long career, he gets excited about that, being able to see something different and try to see how guys are going to play us, and being able to make the right adjustments and know where to go with the football and all those type of things. And Deshaun's already been in early this morning and was down there whenever I left, just getting some extra film study because it is different than anybody we played this year.
Staying with Deshaun, how much do you feel like play at the end of the year and in the big games and the championship games type stuff? How much does that matter in Heisman voting?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know about the Heisman, how all that works, but I know it can't hurt. That's what I think about Deshaun is look back on his career, and he's been incredible in the big game. I mean, he's been incredible, all the time. Maybe has 3 losses total, but really in the big games, he's been incredible. I don't know if there's been anybody better in college football the last 2 or 3 years on the big stage. And that's kind of what we've come to expect with Deshaun. And so I don't expect anything less here Saturday night.
I was players earlier today and how they felt when they broke that last huddle on Saturday night. How do you feel being a coach when they're recruiting these kids and developed them over the last few years, when you see those guys come to the sidelines and say, bye, coach, for the last time on Death Valley?
Yeah, it's definitely emotional seeing those guys out there. And I can remember when all those guys were coming in, we were sitting here thinking, how in the world are we going to replace, Taj Boyd, Sammy, Nuke, Martavis, Andre Ellington, Dwayne Allen. All these guys are leaving at once. How in the world are we going to replace them? And then the next group comes in, So I've already taken that picture that I got on the sidelines with Deshaun, Mike, and Artavis, and I've been sending that to some of the 2017 and 18 guys saying, hey, I hope in 3 or 4 years, this is us on the sideline, and you guys have had a great career here and have an opportunity to go do big things at the next level. And but that's all the fun about college football is you get these guys just for a few years and then you got to find a way to replace them. But what this group has done has been incredible. I mean, obviously the group before them really kind of took us to the next level to kind of becoming a very relevant team on a national level, and then this group right here is just taking it up even a higher notch. And I think we'll look back one day as this is one of the best groups to come through Clemson. And
As a player and a coach, a former player here and now coached here, you've had the opportunity to be part of a back-to-back ACC championships. What would that mean for you, knowing your ties to the program?
Oh, it's special. I mean, it's special regardless, just as a coach or as a player. I think this day and age is very hard. There's a lot of talented teams out there, and to be able to do that, especially at your alma mater, and be a small part of that, definitely means a lot. And I know, these guys, especially this group that's going out, they've accomplished a lot of things, and that'd be just another thing for them to be able to add, to their resume about their experience here at Clemson. And something our guys are definitely excited about and looking forward to having an opportunity to be able to do that.
Coach Artavis had another nice game on Saturday and also had a long punt return. How nice is it to be able to rely on him in the punting game, and you were also able to get Ray in there back in the saddle in the punting game? Yeah,
Artavis, he's kind of a guy that the more that you give him to do, the better that he does. He's just a guy very talented with the ball in your hands. I believe that he's now second in career receptions, tied with Aaron Kelly, 232. I think he's maybe 8 away from all-time leader in receptions, which is Sammy. So that's pretty impressive in 3 years. And but yeah, Artavis is. I thought it was very fitting. Deshaun and Artavis came in together in January, and both of them have been very close since they've been at Clemson, and both of them are graduating in 3 years. And for them to have potentially their last touchdown be from Deshaun to Artavis, Deshaun's last touchdown in Death Valley to beat Artavis, I thought that was pretty special right there at the end. But Artavis had a great career and done a great job this year, And that's kind of what we've come to expect from our best players is they play the best at the right time as this thing really gets going down the stretch, and see the same thing with Wayne Gallman and Jordan Leggett and Deshaun, all those guys.
It seems like you've been incorporating Artavis more on the short screens and the jet sweeps and so forth here recently. Is that the case? Has that been an emphasis, or is it just the way the defenses have been playing?
We'd like to do that a lot, but sometimes defenses don't allow you to do that based off schematically what they're doing, and we were able to do that Saturday. And I thought that was another one of the positives in the game was the perimeter screen game, and it just makes it extremely hard for the defense when you can run the ball, and then when you've got a quarterback that knows when to throw the ball out there, and then the guys on the edge can execute and make the blocks and get the runs. I think that's when we're at our best and able to play fast. And so Artavis did a good job along with some of those other guys out there on the perimeter.
Talk about the blocking scheme of wide receivers. You talk about the perimeter blocking. What kind of makeup it takes for a player to get out there and put that kind of effort in?
Yeah, that's something we challenge those guys all the time. We're definitely nowhere near perfect in that, but it's been a process and been something that we've made a point of emphasis. And I think Trevion Thompson and Hunter Renfro did a good job on Saturday with some of those blocks out there. And it's hard because some of it's a zone read, and you don't know exactly when that ball is getting thrown out there. It can be thrown early, it can be thrown late, so it's a long time. You've got to be patient as a blocker out there. And they definitely had one of their better days blocking on the perimeter that we've had this year.
Deshaun's tried to be a little, mysterious about his future plans and maybe leaving the door open. And he even said this morning, he said, for all of us that were out on the field, it might be our last time in Death Valley. In your mind, are they all ready to go? And if Deshaun came to you and said, what is your advice, what would you tell him?
Yeah, I think all those guys, when you recruit great players, then you kind of get in this position more often. And I think we've been in this position at Clemson more often where you have guys that are talented enough maybe to make a decision. And Coach Sweeney always does a great job with those guys before the season and during the season and after the season, kind of giving them, his advice and those type of things. But at the end of the day, those guys have to make the decision. And, we tell them to go play well enough that it's an easy decision. And, I think some of those guys are going to probably have some easy decisions to make. But, I'll leave that up to them. It's not really something, to be honest, that we have talked a lot about. I think those guys, they know what they have ahead of them here at Clemson, and they want to finish the right way. And then, there's a time and place for all of that kind of stuff, and I think those guys are probably just waiting for the right time and place at the end of the season to make any for sure decisions. But I think most people probably can figure it out.
Coach, Mike Williams' strength and determination was on full display on Saturday, carrying defenders into the end zone. Is that the biggest part of his game? You think he's improved his ability to break tackles?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the way that Mike's been playing. I mean, looks like he gets better and better each week, and that's something we also challenge those guys, especially guys that are, got big things ahead of them next spring and all that stuff. Is, man, finish strong. Finish. I use Sammy as an example. Sammy's last game at Clemson, he set an Orange Bowl record, Clemson record, and had his best game of his career. And that's what you want to see from those guys, and that's what I see from Mike. I mean, he's just getting better and better each week. And but yeah, I mean, that was unbelievable. That first catch that he made, goes down as one of the best catches just in a one-on-one situation that I've seen since I've been here at Clemson. And then just his will and the other two touchdowns was incredible. He's definitely a talented player and playing his best ball at the right time.
Jeff, I think sort of along the same line, like halfway through the season maybe, you were talking about the difficulty of a group of guys playing amid such great expectations, particularly when you have so many guys who are probably headed for the NFL. Looking back, how impressed are you, sort of big picture, how they've handled all that sort of mental stuff?
Yeah, they've done a good job, and it's hard. These seasons are long, and especially when you have aspirations and expectations to play more than 12 games. Those guys, they're sitting back there. It's kind of, they know it's a long year, and and so just week in and week out to have those expectations and to go out there and perform at a high level. I think I'm proud of the consistency that those guys have shown. And that's one thing that we talked about even last week is, rivalry games, there's a lot of emotion and, all those type of things. And so I said one of the best things about our offense, one of the best things about our team and about our players is we've really played very consistent regardless of who the opponent is. Whether it's a highly ranked opponent or an opponent that's maybe having a difficult year. And I think that says a lot about a player is the consistency of their play, no matter who you're playing from the beginning of the year all the way to the end of the year. But our guys have been focused and locked in. I think even when maybe we've struggled at times, I don't really think it was especially after the first couple games, I don't really think it was a focus issue or anything like that. The guys have been locked in each and every week. Sometimes it's been an execution thing on a few plays here and there. But I feel like our guys are locked in. They know what's ahead of them, and they've been there before, and they know what it takes. And a lot of that's the preparation during the week, and that's the part we'll start today.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Thank you, Coach.
Sounds good.